Hello lovely Scorpio, and welcome to your weekly Tarotscope with me, Sally Kent. I hope you're well. I feel like your energy is seeking pleasure and play and enjoyment this week. There's this like sweet nectar of life vibe for you Scorpios, where it's kind of like you're like a bumblebee. You're seeking out the nectar. You're seeking out the good stuff this week, where, you know, pleasure, joy, love, happiness. It's like, oh, I'm gonna seek out the good stuff this week. It's like that type of energy. So let's see what the tarot has to say. Okay, so seeking out that nectar may be as a result of kind of a healing mechanism of kind of easing the worry. It's kind of like, well, there's no point focusing on what I can't change. There's no point focusing on worrying about what hasn't happened or stressing about what has. I might as well focus on the good. You know, these two are quite opposite energies really, in the sense that one is kind of a bit debilitated through worrying. It's like they can't get out of bed because there's just so many kind of mental concerns. And the other one is very much about kind of freely giving and receiving, because we're in balance, and we feel generous because we feel supported, and we want to kind of extend kindness to others because we appreciate what we have. And you know, so it's like, I think Scorpio, you're really getting a hold of your mental health this week, in the sense where you notice the difference of kind of how you feel when you start to stress about things that haven't happened or worry about things that could happen. You know, I remember a Macmillan nurse saying to my nan the once about the danger of the mind, where it can kind of take us by asking ourselves what if questions. And the Macmillan nurse was like saying to my nan, bless her, that when she asks herself, what if this happens, what if this happens, that she might as well be standing in front of a tiger, in the sense that, you know, her emotions and her whole body is like terrified if she's asking herself questions that start that way. And I remember my nan's face. She kind of like had a bit of like an awakening. I could see it. Like she realised that you know, that there was a power in her mind, that if she kind of just let it run amok, then it would get to the point where she was exhausted and, you know, so fearful that she felt stuck and stagnant. But I remember the analogies that my nan and I then created after the Macmillan nurse said that to her. And because my grandparents loved to garden, and when I was caring for them, I'd often kind of do their gardening to keep their garden the way they had it. And so I got to learn a lot about the flowers and the things they loved and things like that. And so we used a garden analogy, in the sense that negative thinking is like the weeds. You know, weeding the garden is getting rid of the kind of, you know, the vigorous plants that can kind of take over the delicate plants that you've planted. So we kind of use the analogy of, like, you know, tending to negative thinking as weeding the mind, and that, you know, we were forever going to be gardeners, outwardly and inwardly. And that's still today. I use that analogy with clients and in my own life. You know, I have a plant in every room, and multiple plants in some rooms, because I believe that we are nature. Like, everything in our biology is intrinsically linked to nature in the universe, and there's this real energy of wanting to be close to what feels familiar for you this week and good, because that helps you like quieten the mind, quieten the stress tendencies. I think certain things can trigger you, and then you kind of go down that thinking pattern, but this week you're able to stop yourself before it gets to the point of you feeling anxious, if that makes sense. It's like you can sense what best to focus on, and what warrants your attention and energy. So let's see, what's the most important thing Scorpio needs to know? That's the most important thing Scorpio needs to know, please, about the week of the 22nd of June. What can they expect? Okay, so well, as soon as I asked what can I expect, these two jumped out. Ooh, this is like one of my favourite couples in the tarot. The King of Cups and the Queen of Cups, and they've come out together. It's like, so for those of you that are coupled, you can expect you and your partner to get on really well this week. There's a lot of joy and balance and exchange of good feeling and good experiences, and also healing as well. It's like the King and Queen of Cups aren't afraid to talk about any type of emotion, you know, and that is true emotional intelligence, is when we're happy to talk about the difficult stuff as well as the pleasant stuff. That helps us, you know, create trust and maintain trust and develop, and you know, the lists are endless, but you already know this because you've got the Queen and the King of Cups. So for those of you that are single, you can expect to, you know, be enjoying all of your relationships this week in a new way, in a sense where you feel like you can talk about things that you found difficult as well as good, and there's just this real feel good energy to this week for you, Scorpio. So let's see what else I can tell you. What's the most important thing they need to know about this week, please? Okay, so I think this is why I was picking up about the healing energy of this. This looks like really scary, but it's really not. This is like a bit, I always liken this energy to like an abscess bursting in the mouth. Like, it's not very pleasant if we have like a blister, or, but actually it's the body beginning to heal when that happens, like the poison has been released. So it's kind of, you can expect there to be this real sense that anything that felt unhealed feels healed this week. I hope that makes sense to you. There's a feeling like, you know, almost like a gratitude for things having happened the way they had, because you've come to this understanding, and it's kind of like this acceptance and forgiveness, I think. Yeah, forgiveness. You know, we can forgive ourselves as well as forgiving others. You know, they say the most difficult person is to forgive is ourselves. You know, it's quite deep, but if it's something you want to ponder, you know, I feel like I need to say about self-compassion, like there's like a therapist and counselling model of self-compassion, and when I was in therapy many years ago, I remember my counsellor advising it to me as keeping a gratitude journal, and also like it's a way for us to kind of build self-compassion, and then if we build self-compassion, we're able to heal things that have felt like immovable in us, you know. Like we can get the weeds out and then have a beautiful garden, a beautiful family, a beautiful friendship, a beautiful kind of relationship, you know, a beautiful inner world. You know, it's about really tending to your inner and outer garden, metaphorically speaking, figuratively if that resonates as well. But yeah, there's a real sense of feeling supported this week, Scorpio, and I really hope that you enjoy feeling on top of your mental health, like, because you're gaining tools and insights in how to improve your emotional and mental state. So well done. So that was your weekly Tarotscope. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I'd really appreciate it if you could like, subscribe, or let me know what you thought. If you enjoyed it, you might like to read your weekly Tarotscope over on my Instagram or Facebook, and you can also read it on my website too. And if you would like something more specific, then you can check out my personal readings on my website, and you can also read reviews there as well. So yeah, I hope you enjoy your gardening and you creating some amazing things this week. I'm sending you so much love. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now.